Today is your favorite day of the week. It's Tech Friday. Welcome on in, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about Google I/O and how they're just shoveling AI into everything, just slopping it around, getting it in everything. Discord activates end-to-end encryption. Obsidian Notebook Navigator Community plugin is now at 3.0. We'll take a look at that. And TTRPG toolkit by Rowan, Rook, and Deckard called the Havoc Engine, and more. Maybe, probably. I don't know. Stuff. All right, let's dive into it. First up, Google had their I/O event that they do every year, and they announced they're just shoving AI into everything. So here's the article from Engadget. This was the first day. I think it covers everything. So the Android announcements we went over last week. You get AI by force, and you get AI by force, right? So Google Search, deploying an intelligent AI-powered search box. We're going to go over everything that they're doing, and then we'll get to discussion and opinion. And now there's something called Google Anti-Gravity, which is another AI thing. There'll be AI agents in Google Search. Vibe coding in Google Search will be possible. I talk about Gemini 3.5 Flash is the new default model, because you want a lot of terms, right? It's not enough to call it Gemini, but Gemini Anti-Gravity, Gemini Omni, which is edit your videos with a conversation, because who doesn't want to do that? I mean, I don't. But the conversation I have while I edit is this goes here now. I need to cut this, trim this. But yeah, Gemini Omni can create anything from any input, supposedly. Oh yeah, the other term, Gemini Spark, available for Ultra subscribers. Remember, these all do take, well, most of them take subscriptions to Gemini, and they go towards using your tokens that you have. But Spark is the personal AI assistant, and you can get app updates, and you can ask YouTube and Omni for shorts now. So you type into YouTube will compile the most relevant videos across all of YouTube's catalog for whatever you decide to search for. And of course, it's being shoved right into Gmail, Docs, and Keep. And they made a new app. Oh, Google Pics. Again, not to be confused with Google Photos. Why wouldn't you just name things confusingly? Last week we talked about the Google Book, which was different from Google Books with an S, and other similarly named products that had the word Google and book in them already. So Google's just continuing that tradition. They have a thing that will apparently detect AI-generated or modified content, supposedly, and they're also doing a thing where they will place, like, I guess a watermark on there telling you if something's AI or not. And of course, AI in the Google Play Store, and you get the universal cart where you get to, shop for things and have all that fun stuff, because you want the internet to shop for you. And there's updated pricing on plans built on the most recent Nano Banana model. Sounds like Mad Libs, right? We need a chat with Google's marketing department. Yes, we do. And then, oh look. Another thing that's AI, Project Genie, enables you to create custom 3D interactive worlds. No thanks, I'll do that on my own. And then Android XR, which is these prescription glasses that will have AR, and the AI will speak directly into your ears as you're watching. And of course, there's never been any privacy issues with wearing glasses like these, and they've all been so successful so far, so why not try again? And probably a bunch of stuff of Wear OS, Gemini for Science, of course, and that's all the announcements. I did want to point out this handy blog by writer over at CNET, where we'll bring only more AI slop and skepticism. So check that out. It's a good read. Real-time translations in the speaker's voice is very creepy. It is. Like, suddenly I'm hearing myself, recorded, not just me talking aloud, but me in my ears, like outside my own head, and it's very strange. And so if you want AI, Google has a thing for you, because it's working so well for Microsoft and Copilot. I don't understand. They looked at Microsoft and how no one wants Copilot, right? This has been happening over a year or more with Copilot. You can see the success and not success of Copilot. And then you decide to have an event where everything is AI. I don't understand. But, just shove it on in wherever. It'll be great. No, it's not great for anybody. And like Springleaf was saying about we need to chat with Google's marketing department, naming everything Gemini something else is confusing. The most likely thing to happen is everyone's just going to call it Gemini and not care about the other names for anything. Oh, Gemini can do this. Well, we want this to be like, is it siloed from the rest of Gemini then? What's the interaction? Why so many names for so many things? It wasn't enough just to call it Gemini in your Gmail and everything else. We had to make names for all of it. And I doubt anyone's going to use them. Well, see, Microsoft goofed because it's just one name. Google will succeed with 11 different names for AI. Not on purpose anyways, right? And surely Google is on the internet and they can see the reactions to AI, and yet they do this. Hey, Tanya, welcome on in. Good to see you. Just talking about Google lubing up AI and trying to shove it in everything. Sounds like it should be an After Dark Tech Friday. Indeed. And so Google AI, I mean, that description was vivid, right? I'm classy that way. That's why we adore you. Thanks. Secretly filthy, right? And so I don't understand why AI everything. So to no one's surprise, I've been looking for other search engines, and I already have an account on Proton Mail, and I'm gonna, because tech bros, that's what, exactly. They don't care about the user as much as the money of the rich that they already have, and they just want to increase their own wealth. So I had been looking for other search engines. I did find one called Start Page. I've tried DuckDuckGo. It's all right. I just haven't had a lot of luck with DuckDuckGo. Pretty good, but there's Start Page. The handy thing about Start Page, oh, I should put this up on screen. Can I move? We need to go back to snail mail and encyclopedias, right? No, I can't do that. Oh, I could just put it over, I think. Did I do that right? Yeah, so this is Start Page. And obviously you just type it in, what you want, and the internet without tracking. Now the neat thing, I don't know if this is true, the world's most private search engine, but they're doing pretty good, looks like. You can read all that on your own. What I like, though, is if you go over here and you click on settings, and you can set, your language, open search a new tab, all your stuff, appearances, there's different themes, safe search, that's great. And they claim to have private AI, but there was a thing I wanted to show. Just a second, let me find it on their page, so you're just not watching me click around everywhere. Was it under settings? Oh no, it's right next to settings. Okay, so what I liked was you go to settings general, and next to it, now they have settings saved with the browser cookie, but if you don't want to use the browser cookie, you can copy this URL, bookmark it, and then when you go into Start Page, your settings come along. You just gotta hit, have your bookmark open up, and you're not even using a browsing cookie or a browser cookie. And I didn't have to log into anything, and I really like this feature right here. This is great. But yeah, the other one I've heard about is Kagi, Kagi. That is a paid thing. They come from an AI company, but when they tried shoving AI into everything, their paying users rebelled. So they were like, no, guess we not doing that. But you can use AI with Kagi, and it's paid search, but it's either search with advertisement, so there's money being made. Went back to DuckDuckGo, you can turn off their AI stuff. Yeah, so right now I'm going with Start Page, and if I have the money, I might try Kagi. Nick mentioned that trying it a few years ago wasn't so great, but as technology moves on, maybe it's better. So I'll give it a try someday when I have extra for the subscription. And yeah, downloading Opera, that reminds me, I did want to talk about web browsers as well. My current alternative browser is the Zen browser. However, And you'll find this article on Thurrott.com. If you don't know, Paul Thurrott is a longtime author of many, many books on Windows throughout the year. But he has an article up on his website about Vivaldi 8.0 for Windows, Mac, and Linux. Has a huge design overhaul. So if you want to take a look at that, by all means, while we're going through browsers that replace everything. And it looks nice. I haven't had time to download and play with it yet. I like Zen, and I keep forgetting not only that exists, but that I've had it installed since it came out. Yeah. I haven't tried Opera in many years, so I'll put that on the list to check out as well. But if you're interested, Vivaldi, it looks really neat. I like a lot of what they did here. It's very pretty. I'm still leaning into Zen. Leaning into Zen. It's fun to say. But yeah, that just came about this week. And next up, we're talking about Discord doing something useful. I know, right? But they now have end-to-end encryption on all voice and video calls. This article courtesy of Engadget. And as you can see, it says it's completed its year-long endeavor to apply end-to-end encryption in all voice and video calls, apply to all calls outside of the staged channels with no need to opt in to the added protection. And someone pointing out, it's also worth calling out that Discord's chat messages are not end-to-end encrypted, and Discord has stated they will not be implementing that, so definitely a mixed bag on the privacy front. So just be aware what you're doing, but yeah, so they get kind of a point for making encryption a thing on their voice and video calls. Always like to hear about that. All right. Next up, Obsidian. Yay! Specifically, a community plugin for Obsidian. So it's not something you have to use, but it's something I use every day. Let me call it up here because I use it in my main vault and waiting for that load. So Notebook Navigator community plugin is now at 3.0. They have a video. Again, watch the video after the show. But the creator of the plugin has a video going over all the features. And we'll drag this over here. We'll take a look at some of the things you can do with it. The big improvement is it's called the Writers Update. And it allows you to drag things and place them in any order. And you can categorize your searches. Let me find my folder. I'll show this off. Let me expand this out a bit. So this is my main folder. Here's my clippings section. No, let me do that. And so here are all the links I save to Obsidian on the left here. We can close that off. No, we can't close that. We need to see the links. And so you can go here to change the sorting. You know, date edited, date created, title, manual sort. So if I click that, then use manual sort. And what this does is it makes a little property, a note in the properties where I can go, okay, now I want the ultimate guide. I want this up above. I should just be able to move these about fairly easy. Why is this not working? Yo, did I not turn on manual sort? It is on. Oh, edit sort order. There we go. Edit sort order. You have to do that. Then you can drag and move them around like you want. If I want to do that, yay. Then you click done when you're done. And stuff is now in whatever order you placed it in. The other very useful thing is, let me see if I can find it. You can set a group header, which is neat. So I can say, I can give it an icon and color if I want. I can show my word count as well. I click save, and now I have this header above my link saying Obsidian Guide. And the creator of the plugin calls this the Writer's Update. So if you're planning out a book and organizing chapters, now you can move material wherever you need to and do that. And Notebook Navigator does a bunch of useful things, like gives me all these colors you see on the side here. And also these calendar views are from Notebook Navigator. So I don't need a plugin for moving things about. I don't need a plugin to have color on my folders. Can just do it all with Notebook Navigator. So if you use Obsidian, it's a handy plugin to have, and I'm really glad to have this new search ability things. Just a nice update. So, and not only can you show word count, you can set like a word goal. So it'll show you, okay, you have 5,000 words written out of 7,000 that you want to hit. And so you can do things like that as well. I'm like, that's just kind of neat. All right. And finally, switching over to the TTRPG space, I want to talk about the Havoc Engine Toolkit. I had not heard of the Havoc Engine. It's been around for a bit. You can find it here. It's by the same people who make the Eat the Reich RPG and the Die, D-I-E, TTRPG. Well, there's a link to it here, and it is free to download, and we'll show it off here. And so short form, over the top, gives players the bulk of the narrative authority. And I took a look at it, and it's kind of like Fate, or what's the other one? Apocalypse World. Kind of like one of those. And neither of those really hit me like something I'd want to use. Not that like if you invite me to a game that uses either of those systems, I'm still gonna play it. But as far as personal goes, the Havoc Engine Toolkit hits just right with the sort of narrative freedom it gives. It looks like it would be excellent for one shots and things like that, quick games at conventions, that type of thing. And it's very simple to set up. The PDF is 32 pages, I think, and I read through it. And out of the engines like Fate and similar type things, I really like the Havoc Engine Toolkit. I think that it's one I'll probably look into more and maybe play a quick game with my friends just to try it out. So if you're looking for something that plays games speedy and you like things like Fate, check this out, see how it compares for you. And yeah, I will. This is the type of thing I can really dig into. The rules, I don't know if it was the writing, layout, whatever. They just, whereas Fate and Powered by the Apocalypse didn't hit me quite right. They're just wasn't glomming onto them. Havoc Engine, I read it. I'm like, this is cool. I like this. So I will probably use it in the near future. Looks like a lot of fun. And that's it for Tech Friday today. So if you're watching the VOD on YouTube, I'll see you next week for yet another Tech Friday. Thanks for being here.